People who like cartoons are very normal. We all know this. Which is why I find it curious that there hasn't been more variety in games with cartoon aesthetics. Ever since the 90s, and to this day, the go-to game for cartoons to be are platformers, sometimes racing games too. But the comical nature of a cartoon suits the acrobatic gameplay and abstract levels of the genre. Still, I thought it would be interesting to mash a cartoony look with other genres, which is where Captain Wayne Vacation Desperation comes in. Captain Wayne Vacation Desperation is a game where everything is happening all at the same time. The game's first impression upon booting the game is gracing your ears with this humble sea shanty, but do not be fooled, my little sailor, as this is one of the loudest fucking games my virgin ears has been subjected to. The noise and visual effects in this game often mix into an indiscernible mush while you're left trying to parse what the hell that thing is, which makes grinding the hundreds of enemies they throw at you into a disgusting mess as overstimulating as it is good at immersing you in a wacky world of wonderful whimsy. In Captain Wayne Vacation Desperation, you play as Captain Wayne Vacation Desperation, doing something in a story that is communicated through cutscenes that I do not understand. The amount of artifacts on the images make it feel like you could reach out and feel the soft grace of sandpaper, and that coupled with the quality of the voice recordings give this game a homemade feel, almost as if it was something I would play on the internet as a 10-year-old kid a couple of years ago. It's like eating grandma's cooking. The game very much feels like something the people behind it wanted to make, and it comes across as a very true and charming expression. There are certainly things that happen in this game that are communicated through dialogue, but if I am being honest, I feel this game gave me the experience of being Butthead from the Beavis and Butthead franchise, in the sense that things would keep happening around me, and I would keep going along with it without really understanding anything. Whether or not this is the intent by the developers is yet to be determined by the experts, but this aspect certainly gives the game an odd sense of immersion where I know exactly what I'm doing while also not knowing what is happening at any given time. It is definitely a game that makes you feel lost, especially in some of the levels. The level design is actually pretty cool, with winding levels that loop back in on themselves and incorporate a delicate touch of exploration to make things feel more thoughtful among the chaos that is this game's combat. It feels like every level introduces a new weapon, and they're all immensely satisfying as the varied and challenging enemies explode into blood and noise. Vacation Exasperation Captain Wayne, being created in the Doom
Duke
engine,
Nukem 3D.
features many classic references that gamers will love, including some set pieces that make you wonder how they pulled it off with such old technology. But also pretty busted movement with this kick move that sends you flying that, coupled with the abundance of health and armor restoration items, sometimes makes it feel like you can happily frolic through the levels while avoiding enemies. The game features plenty of different situations with the level design and enemies that the raw fun of a classic shooter is not lost. You could argue that Captain Wayne, Vacation, Desperation does not do nearly enough as it could to differentiate itself from its brethren in the shooter genre. The game, while still a cartoon, does not take full advantage of things like cartoon logic, choosing to make the violence still bloody and grounded. But I do still think this is a valid way of executing on a cartoony aesthetic. I would say most of the games from that time in the 90s have very little of their own to claim aside from differing premises and similarly solid design. So I would think of Captain Wayne as an extra little bit of aesthetic variety to spice up the already strong lineup of classic shooters. And I am confident if it was released back then, it would become a cult classic in its own right. You can purchase the game on Steam for around $12. So go overstimulate yourself and make Captain Wayne proud. You can apparently also purchase this game in a bundle with the game Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. I opened a portal to hell in the favela trying to revive Mitaya and I need to close it. So if you can think of a better deal, I don't really want to hear it. Go play Captain Wayne.